Jason Kidd says he just wants Kristaps Porzingis to have fun again and wants to make the game easier for Luka Doncic. This is the Gray Area right here on Kevin Gray Sports. My name is Kevin Gray. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there for all things Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. And you can catch me on your home of the Dallas Cowboys and Texas Rangers, 105.3 The Fan. Jason Kidd joined ESPN's The Jump and, among other things, congratulated Giannis Antetokounmpo for winning his first NBA championship. As you remember, Jason Kidd was the former head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks and helped Giannis develop his game and to help him become what he is today now as a Finals MVP and NBA champion. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. Remember that time the Dallas Mavericks had a chance to draft Giannis, but we're not here to talk about that today. Jason Kidd was on The Jump and, among other things, talked about what he wants to do to help Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis be the kind of perfect fit that he describes them to be to ensure the Mavericks are moving forward to this offseason, a very important one as they have a lot of decisions to make with guys like Josh Richardson, Tim Hardaway Jr., and others. But Jason Kidd, looking toward the future, says, look, I just want to help Kristaps Porzingis get back to having the kind of fun that he was having in New York, doing some of the things that he was actually doing in New York, some of the post-ups, some of the ability to drive to the basket, which is really interesting to hear, especially when you hear him coming from Jason Kidd himself. Here is Jason Kidd describing what he exactly wants to do to help Kristaps Porzingis get back to just, having fun.
Well, I think when you look at what they can do, they both have a skill set. They know how to put the ball in the basket. When you look at KP, he can stretch the defense. His range is from half court. Also, I think getting KP back to what he did in New York, being able to put the ball on the floor, one dribble, stop and pop, being able to post up, being able to turn around, be aggressive, being able to dunk. I remember a lot of highlights when he was, putting the ball on someone's head. And so getting him back to that era of his basketball where he was having fun.
So Jason Kidd saying, look, he has a skill set that we believe he can utilize here with the Mavericks and doing some of those things that he was doing in New York to getting him back to the all-star that he was when he was there. Obviously, injuries have derailed Porzingis throughout his career, but as you saw this season, averaging over 20 points per game, nearly 9 rebounds, having a career true shooting percentage of over 50%. You can tell this is a guy in Jason Kidd who feels like he can help unlock Kristaps Porzingis in a different way that Rick Carlisle reduced Porzingis to during the playoffs against the Los Angeles Clippers. An interesting take from Jason Kidd because some of the things that Kristaps Porzingis was known for in New York, not only offensively but defensively, how good he was as a guy who over 7 feet tall could shoot the ball from the three-point line, but also could put the ball on the deck, but more importantly, was a rim protector and a shot blocker. We haven't seen that at the kind of level that he was doing it at in New York with the Mavericks. We've seen it in flashes at times, but not to the degree and consistency that you would want for a guy that's getting paid over $150 million and owed over $100 million over the next 3 seasons. So for Jason Kidd, that's going to be interesting to watch how he incorporates Kristaps Porzingis into this offense, especially when Luka Doncic is running it. Luka Doncic and, of course, Kristaps Porzingis were the most efficient pick-and-roll duo in all of the NBA. Some of the impetus and why maybe Jason Kidd feels like Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis are a perfect fit. Meanwhile, for Jason Kidd, a Hall of Famer, a guy who is a top 5 assist man all time, knows a little thing or two about making the game easier for his teammates. That, apparently, is what he wants to help Luka Doncic do as a 22-year-old superstar, 2-time first-team All-NBAer who was on the cusp of signing a 5-year, $201.5 million rookie max extension this summer, which he is eligible for. So what does Jason Kidd have in mind for Luka Doncic to help him improve as a basketball player, much like how he helped Giannis improve in his early days? Here's what Jason Kidd had to say.
Luka is a different player. When you look at someone who's 22 years old and what he's accomplished early on in his career is amazing. I'm not going to tell him not to shoot. He can shoot the ball. My job is to help make the game easier for him. Understanding the game within the game. Understanding, how to get guys going. Become a better leader. He's already a leader at 22, but to help him with that leadership quality and again, help him in every aspect of the game to try to make it easy. That's what we did with Giannis in Milwaukee. And again, I won't tell him not to shoot like I did with you and Giannis, but I wanted you guys to be successful. I knew your strengths, and that was to get to the basket or get to the free throw line. And you made a lot of money doing that.
So Jason Kidd saying, look, Luka Doncic, we want to make the game easier for him going forward. Obviously, Luka Doncic is going to have free reign to continue to run this offense and shoot the basketball when he so well chooses, as Giannis obviously pointed out there. But more importantly, how does Luka Doncic get his teammates in the best positions, continue to do that, and making the game easier for himself and for his teammates? We all know how terrific of a passer Luka Doncic already is. But the maturation and the continued growth of his game can be helped by a guy in Jason Kidd who was one of the best visionaries on the floor and was able to make pinpoint passes with a regularity that made him the kind of Hall of Famer that he eventually came to be, and of course, an NBA champion. As Luka Doncic continues to grow and develop his game, not just from the physical aspect of it, but from the mental game, where he's already well advanced beyond what most 22-year-olds are at their points in their career, Jason Kidd has the opportunity to exponentially grow Luka Doncic from the basketball IQ standpoint, because already we know how good Luka Doncic is when it comes to sharing the basketball, seeing things before they happen. But now you pair him with a Hall of Fame coach, or Hall of Fame player, I should say, in Jason Kidd, who knows a thing or two about making things easier for his teammates and making his teammates better. Theoretically, you could see how this marriage could work. Ultimately, time will tell if Jason Kidd will be able to get the most out of Luka Doncic, a mercurial superstar with a hyper-competitive motor who wants to win at all costs, but at the same time still learning how to grow and to mature, to channel all that energy and sometimes frustration when it comes to technical fouls into ensuring that he is doing what he can to put his teammates in the best position on the floor. All of those things come with a guy being at 22 years of age. But yes, Jason Kidd has his baggage as a head coach, but it appears in his third stop that he's already trying to make sure that he is doing things a little bit differently to ensure that this isn't necessarily the last coaching stop that he has when it comes to getting fired and having to try and find another one. He hopes that this one is his last one because of the kind of success that he believes he will have with Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis. But on the Kristaps Porzingis front, Rick Carlisle at one point said, hey, the post-up thing really isn't necessarily good for Kristaps Porzingis. So for Jason Kidd to take the opposite approach, potentially, of Rick Carlisle and try and getting him back to doing some of those things that he was doing in New York, it's an interesting play to see if that can unlock Kristaps Porzingis to get him to having the kind of fun that he used to have. As we know, Kristaps Porzingis prefers playing at the center position versus playing at the forward position because of his ability to space the floor and be able to be the trailer on offensive sets and possessions. We'll see if that eventually works out for Jason Kidd, Kristaps Porzingis, and for Luka Doncic. But give Jason Kidd credit. He's trying to put himself in position where he is making things easier for Luka Doncic, trying to get the most out of Kristaps Porzingis by maybe getting him back to doing some of the things that he was capable and more comfortable of. But what does that look like for the rest of the offense when it comes to guys like Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jalen Brunson, and others, and how they fit around Luka and KP? I guess we're about to find out, won't we? You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there for all things Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. It's been another episode of The Gray Area. We'll talk to you later. Peace.